Alright, ladies and gentlemen, are we live? Today, we are going to learn about Peril. Nah, I'm just kidding. What up, ladies and gents? Well, I wasn't kidding about the content, but what up, ladies and gents? It's your favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully your favorite DarkTide partner. Anyway, today, I'm gonna go through Peril, the Peril mechanic, and, you know, give you guys an in-depth look at it, because a lot of people have been very confused about it, and, you know, one person told me that I'm the Psyker guy. I'm trying to live up to that standard, you know, so I'm going to teach you guys all about Peril. What is Peril to begin with? Peril is what happens, all right? It's a resource only used by the Psyker. You'll notice a skull, all right, right there, all right, in between my hands. That is Peril, okay? It goes down over time, but increases whenever you use any warp-related powers. Okay, warp-related powers come from your Force Sword special charge, your Force Staff, either your secondary or primary fire. All of this increases Peril. And of course, the most famous is your Brain Burst. Your ultimate will reduce 50% of Peril straight away with its cast, okay? Peril can actually auto-quell over time. It goes down slowly, all right, whenever you have any Force weapon equipped. But here's a little trick. If you were to equip a non-Force weapon, that's just my dueling saber. All right, let's increase Peril to a large amount. Bear with me, I'm gonna just speed increase my Peril here. Okay, when you've increased your Peril to a large amount, if you swap to a normal weapon, have you noticed the auto quell speed is really fast? Okay, let's do that again. Let's do that again with the Brain Burst, okay? Let's increase Peril to a ridiculous amount. And swap to the non-force weapon. You see how fast it quells? If you use a non-psychic related weapon, it will quell fast. This is in contrast to... Let's do the same thing, but with a Force Sword, okay? This is one weakness of Force-based weaponry. Force-based weaponry has a particular quell speed and requires you to actively quell. Actively quell means holding down the reload button to remove Peril, okay? But let me just show you the difference, because I wanted to describe this one trick. It's really important. If I swap to my Force Sword and I do not touch anything, okay? Notice how slow the quell speed is, because this is your natural quelling speed. If you equip a non-force weapon, you will use the rapid quelling speed, okay? All right, I wanted to show that to you, okay? Now we're going to equip a non-force weapon, and I'm going to show you a few tricks related to using Peril and how you can maximize your usage of Peril. So, what happens when Peril reaches 100? Let's test it. Okay. Hop. Hop. Let's take Peril to 100. If you get your Peril to 100, technically speaking, you're supposed to blow up. But that doesn't always happen. Let's take a look at the difference when we do it with a staff, alright? Let's take Peril to 100. You'll enter struggle mode, okay? And then you'll explode. This will kill you in a normal game. In the meat grinder, obviously, it doesn't. So, keeping your Peril below 100 is a good idea. But, please notice again that you have a struggle mode, okay? Alright, let's get Peril to 100, and I'll show you the trick. If your ult is ready, okay, and your Peril is 100, while you're in struggle mode, if you press your ultimate, you'll survive. Okay, this is the only way to survive during struggle mode. I've heard of some other ways, but they could be related to exploits, so I'm not going to discuss any of them. I've already reported them to devs. All right, that is my take on the struggle mode. Now, here are, like I said, a few tricks. First of all, you need to know how to quell Peril, okay? Quelling Peril, all right, before we discuss these tricks, is where you press the reload button and you will see you will actively quell your Peril down. This is based on the quell rate of every force weapon, okay? That refers to your active quell rate. Let's take a look at this Force Staff, all right? I wish the stats were better. I really need a better one. But the quell speed will help you quell faster, all right? Bonus to quelling the wielder's Peril or venting a weapon's overcharge as appropriate. Okay, so this is important. All right. Now, like I said, here are a couple of tricks. When it comes to Brain Burst, all right, Brain Burst will take you to 100 Peril but will not cause you to enter struggle mode. Take note of this, alright? Even if you wait and do nothing, you will not enter struggle mode. Let's do that again. This will take me to 100. No struggle mode. Okay, that one, my passive trigger. 100, no struggle mode. Now, what happens if you do it at 98? You go into struggle mode. Okay, the difference between 98 and 97 is hilarious. Watch this little trick, okay? First of all, I'm gonna get this to 100. Alright, the first time getting to 100, nothing happens. Now, if you go down to 97, sorry. Well, let's be very clear on that. If you go down to 97, alright, and you do this again, nothing will happen. But you saw that if I go into 98, I go into struggle mode. Okay, so that's the fine line. 97 is the lowest peril at which you can brain burst safely. So, one of the tricks to maximize your brain burst usage in combat is quell down below 97. Initiate brain burst, you will not explode. Quell down below 97 again. Initiate brain burst, you will not explode. Now, do you want to quell faster? Switch to a staff. Switch back to brain burst. Alright? This can help you quell faster and get more casts out of it. Alright? But it depends again on how speedy you are. Okay? If you shift rapidly, you will not have a problem. Alright? Because it's faster than quelling with your hands. Let me explain a little something. Your hands have a base quell speed. Alright? So their quelling is much slower than any of your force weapons. Why? Because they do not have... If you take a look at the force weapons, I think even the sword has it. Let me just have a look-see. Okay, the sword doesn't have a quell modifier. Okay, only your staff does. So, for the fastest quelling, use the staff. Sorry, I thought the sword had a quell modifier, but I guess I was wrong. Okay, if you let's go straight to a high level of peril. Okay, with the brain burst. All right, you're at 100. This is the quell speed of your hands. Okay, but if you were to do the same thing and you use your staff, the quell speed is much faster. All right, I know it may not seem like that. Honestly, the difference is not that stark if you really think about it, but the difference tends to come mostly in the field. When you're in combat, you will tend to notice the difference a lot more. Again, going up past 100, it takes like a while before it starts dropping. All right. Again, I don't know how to describe this other than to show it to you, but when I switch to the staff, it's nigh instantaneous and it starts dropping really rapidly. So that's one of the small differences. So if you are trying to quell and you have your hands out, let's say you've been brain bursting a lot. Here's another little trick that you can use, okay? Let's say I really have to brain burst these guys, okay? I've busted out all those brain bursts and I start quelling with my hands. You can hold down the reload and swap to your staff and it will not interrupt the quell. Okay? So this can be done in the field. You can also utilize a non-force weapon. So note that we've got a non-force weapon equipped, right? Let's take your peril high. Okay, let's take your peril high via brain burst. Okay, this might be a little bit in contrast with the staffs, and I'm going to demonstrate that to you guys shortly. Okay, I can swap to a non-force weapon. All right, and immediately just let the auto quell go down. This was actually one of the bases of the Berserker style, whereby using the non-force weapon allows you the flexibility to just, you know, get in and out of combat, all right, and let your peril quell naturally. If you're gonna do this with the staff, well, there's a couple of problems. As you know, the staff makes you enter struggle mode nigh instantaneously, all right? As soon as you get to 100, you're in struggle mode. You cannot swap weapons. The only way to survive is by using your ult. So you want to be careful with that. However, even with the staff, let's say you know your peril well, swapping to your non-force weapon immediately starts the quelling process. Now, it is slower than actively quelling with a modifier, but, you know, in an emergency situation, you can just let your Peril quell naturally. This is one of the reasons why some people prefer non-force weapons. Okay, but again, active quelling is pretty fast, so utilize that. Also, if you're ever in struggle mode, you can use your alt. This covers basically everything you need to know about Peril. Take into account the brain burst. Okay, so once again, just to quickly summarize everything for you guys. All right, you can brain burst as much as you like, so long as you are at 97 or below. Okay, you can brain burst to infinity. Drop it down below 97, do it again. Drop it down below 97, do it again. See? You can brain burst infinitely. Okay, 97 is the safe point. Now, even at 100 Peril, if you do it with brain burst, you do not enter struggle mode. All right, you will not enter struggle mode. But if you do that with the staff, bada bing bada boom, struggle mode. Only way to get out of struggle mode is to use your alt. Okay, that is the only legal way to get out of struggle mode. All right, and if you have any force weapon, you do not have auto quell. I mean, you do have auto quell, but it's slow. Take advantage of your active quell. All right, you can use it anytime. All you got to do is hold down the reload. While active quelling, you can still move around. You can still move around via dodging. Okay, and sorry, I actually forgot to cover this one trick. So let's say you've got high Peril and you're in serious situation, lots of danger all around. You need to quell. Okay, your quelling affects your movement speed. Okay, which is why mind in motion. Now, I don't have mind in motion as a feat. So sorry, almost forgot to explain this one last trick. I don't have mind in motion right now, so whenever I'm quelling, let's say with the hands or whatever. So sorry about it, having to add this explanation in. I know this is bad of me. If I'm quelling with hands, I'm moving slowly. Do you see that? Even if I'm quelling with staff, I'm moving relatively slowly. Okay, this is compared to my normal movement speed. But your dodging is still pretty much at the full movement. All right, so get very used to this, because if you have to quell in the field, you can quell, all right, and dodge around. Let's do that again. Let me increase my Peril. Staff. Okay, Peril nice and high. I need to quell now. I can sidestep or backstep while quelling. All right, this can help you get into cover or out of cover. It's slower now that they've modified the dodge system, but this is basically how to survive. If you have to quell actively in the field, you can still be evading blows and stuff like that. So get very used to dodging while quelling. I know it can seem a little uncoordinated, but if you're sidestepping or backstepping, you'll find that your fingers on the keyboard should be more than enough to help you dodge while quelling. Okay, that brings us to the end of this full explanation on Peril and all the tips and tricks that you need to understand about Peril. If I've missed anything or you got any suggestions, you can leave a comment on the video. Thank you very much for watching this. As always, if you enjoy my content, please help me to get it to about 150 likes. That's honestly all I ask from you guys. If you're willing to like it, you can also share and subscribe if you want to. Thank you very much for doing that. And that brings us to the end of this video. Now, all I've got to do is just thank the channel members for making all this content possible. Thank you guys very much. Channel members are the ones that they're basically like subscribers on Twitch, but there's different tiers on YouTube, which I like a lot more. And we always thank the highest tiers for their kind support. So starting off with Death Dawning 982, he's our top fan at Plus Ultra. The rest are Jerry Fast, Joshua Moritz, Rogue Assassin, Old Mr. Cream Puff, Zach, and FG. They're all prestige level robots. For our honor tier, we have Wild Hunt, Coda CMF, AKJ, also known as Nuev, Kami SMH, Jammer Boy, Conrad C, Miss Eve, Grim Reaper 2296, Jacob Gabrick, Turtle Dove, Nate the Great, Curtis Schussler, MjRiffle, Shadow, Corey Ryu, Benjamin Savage, Lady Neo, Anarchy Inc., Greasy Burger, and Stefan Geyer. And thank you to all of our cool bots as well. I really appreciate all of you guys supporting my channel, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. I hope this helps you understand Peril fully.